Hello, welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another very fun mod to use in creative mode or survival mode to lift things up or pick things up at extreme ranges, because this is a massive piston that can pick up stuff 500 meters away, and it's called the Pulley Motor. So this thing right behind me is what it is. The top section will attach onto your building, onto your ship, then this bottom section will spawn in and will be able to extend all the way out down to the ground, pick up objects, or be a massive elevated system, depending on what you want to do with it. So yes, it does look like it is part of a safe zone generator and part of a landing leg with ropes in the middle, or at least that's what it looks like to me, but it does have moving parts on it, so we need to extend it all the way out. On the side here, we'll start to twiddle around, and it's just quite nice to look at. But yes, what we're going to do before we have a look around the outside and all that, I'm going to give you a demonstration of what this thing can do. So coming all the way up this massive pillar that I prepared earlier, we're now going to send it all the way down to the ground, so you see how it extends all the way out, and of course the animations that go with it. So pressing this big button right here is now going to pull all the way down to the ground, or go all the way down to the ground. Up here on the side, here it is, twiddling around as it goes all the way down. And we'll cross over to here, to the opposite side, there we go. Moving the character all the way down and away, that's what it looks like. And it's got a steel block on the end of it to show it attaching onto stuff, and of course to attach stuff on later on when I go and make a platform. Yes, that'll come all the way down to the ground. I've set it up so it stops at about 112 meters from the ground, because if it goes too far, it will blow up, and I'll have to attach on a new head. But no, that's what it does, extend all the way out, up to 500 meters, and it does have all the same controls as a regular piston, so you can customize it to your heart's content. Anyway, back to the very top, with a free camera, here we go. We'll just go through what it can do in control menu, so spawning character down to here, taking over him, and coming to his very convenient little seat. Here we are, pressing I, control panel, finding the pulley motor right here. Now we're going to come all the way down, so you can see at the top here, we've got all of our standard controls. Over here, exact same controls as a piston, so we've got safety detach, attach on the piston head, reverse it, bring all the way back up. We've got our velocity, maximum distance, minimum distance, and then of course our impulse. Yes, for the maximum distance, putting that all the way across. There we are, we can do 497.5 meters, which is just shy of 500 meters, like I said. But yes, what I want to do, once that's all the way back at the top, there we go, there it is right there. It's now perfectly lined up with those steel blocks, so we can just walk onto it, though we can't actually walk onto it. I'll explain that in just a moment. Now I'll just go and do this, put it to 112. There we go, now hop out the seat. So before we take a closer look at the model and of course go through its spawn cost, I do want to touch on something because I did just mention it, is of course standing on top of it. Now because this is just basically a glorified piston, a reskinned piston, this section right here between the ropes we cannot stand inside of. So with the free camera coming across to it, there we go, it is an invisible wall. You cannot stand on top of this thing as it goes all the way down. You will have to build a platform below it, you will have to build a elevator box or whatever there is pulled in to stand inside of and have yourself transported all the way down, or of course a landing leg, a landing gear, to all have something attached onto it and you sit inside of while it goes up and down, because you cannot stand inside the section as it goes up and down. So with that done and out of the way, I want to press G, come into here and find the pulley motor. There it is right there. And yes, this thing is only available for the large block grid. No small block version currently, but there might be one in the future. But here is its cost. It is very cheap to build, so you can just put this willy-nilly wherever you want, on the base, on the ship, depending on what you want to do. Now if you want to have this on the base, you could use it as an internal elevator system, lift yourself up multiple floors, or you can have this on a large block ship and have it basically sitting in orbit and send it all the way down to the ground, just so you don't have to take the ship down to the planet's surface. You just have a massive elevator system made out of these. Yes, we'll do that later on, because there is a little asterisk after that, using it on the ship, because there is a very big issue with this gap right here. So because this thing is absolutely solid, as you see here, me putting my character on here like before, we cannot go through here, so when this collides with stuff, bad things are going to start to happen. So we'll do that at the very end, because it'll most likely crash the game. But anyway, with the free camera, it's now time to look at the model, so down to the ground. We'll take a look at this one right here. So yes, and the very front here, like I said at the very start, it looks like it's built from a safe zone generator block, and then down here looks like it's part of a landing leg, which has got some ropes in the middle of it, with little magnetic plates on the left and right hand side. But no, it is a very nice little model for this system, and works very well for that look pulley systems generally have. Anyway, yes, over to here, up and above, onto the side, so this is part that will twiddle around as we extend it all the way down. Onto the opposite side, there's a little control panel to play around with, and of course to change all the controls without needing to get into a seat, or using any old access panel not on this block. All the way up and looking down, this is the only place we can attach the pulley system onto, so with this, looking across to here, as you can see we cannot rotate this around, it has to be on that one section, so when you spawn it in, the rest will pop in, now it just extend all the way out horizontally. Yes, over here once again, all the way down at the bottom, here we are. So yes, we've got two little plate magnet plates on the side there where the ropes go down. Got little support struts in the middle. Then around. Over to here. Up and looking down. Then down underneath it. And there we are. So yes, it's a very nice model overall. I believe it's time for me to do some more demonstrations to show you what this thing can do, and showing what you should not do with it, and well, that'll be that for this video. And here we go. So I've attached on the pulley system onto the good old Albatross, and I've attached a magnetic plate below it to use as a cargo hook. So any cargo takes below me, any kind of wreckages I want to pick up, I now extend this all the way out 500 meters, and we'll pick up, and we'll just load it into this cargo bay, where I've removed all the hangar bay doors, to make it easier to pick stuff up and put stuff inside. So what I'm going to do now is press this big button. There we go, then I can now go all the way down to the ground. And while that's doing that, I'm now going to come to the very front and get into the cockpit to drive it away. So here we come, through here, and into the seat. Third person view, lifting this all the way up. There it goes all the way down. And it will go 500 meters to the ground because I set the maximum range to be that. But no, what I'm going to do to actually finish off this video, I'm not actually going to pick stuff up because it is just a piston at the end of the day. What I am going to do is drive towards this mountainside at some speed. So what's going to happen here is the game is going to go horribly, horribly wrong. Here we come relining this. And in about 3, 2, 1, please don't crash. But here goes the sim speed. And this is what happens when you hit a mountainside. So yes, the frame rate is still at a solid 60, but the sim speed is going so low that, as you can see, it's basically a slideshow. You can see the thrusters are actually behaving correctly, they're actually moving at the correct speed, but the rest of the game, I cannot control this thing, I cannot even turn this thing. And there we go, it has sort of recovered. I'm not actually too sure what happened there, but it looks like we have pinged around, and there it is now just going off into the distance. If I try and lift this up, if I can, it's now going to start doing it again because it just collided with a rock, and that's what happens when you hit something with the pulley ropes, or well, they collide with anything, because it does not have a breakable model, it's not breakable in general, so the game doesn't quite know what's happening with those ropes, because it really wants to break it, it really wants to crumple it against the rocks, but it cannot, so they're basically immortal, and only the bottom part of the actual piston system, the little head they attach stuff onto can break, and of course the top section can break, but the rope is immortal, and well, that is what happens. I am attempting to get out of the seat here, because I want to actually fly around and actually see what's going on. I cannot get back into the free camera currently, because the game is currently breaking, so I might have to end it here, but yes, that is what happens when it collides with stuff. So do avoid that and do be very careful. I expect that to be fixed in the future, but as it stands now, just be very careful with it and play responsibly. As for that, that's it for the Pulley Motor Mod. It's a fantastic thing to use in your world if you want to have a massive elevator system, a massive way to collect cargo, a way to collect wreckages, while having your ship basically hovering in orbit, or having it come all the way down to the ground, grabbing it, putting it all the way back up. It's entirely up to you with what you want to do with this mod. So the link to its description below to shoot down and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do. Just remember not to hit stuff with the actual pulley system. And well, I'll be back with another video sometime soon. Bye bye.